And we are live. So where we kind of left off last time was that, and I want to spend a little bit more time. We put a sales page together inside of the sales page builder. We also took a look at putting a buy button on to a sales page. And so assuming that you understand kind of how that whole process worked, what I'd like to do tonight is I'd like to finish the process in just really looking at a funnel. Now we looked at the funnel in Warrior Plus, and we also looked at it in JVZoo. I think actually we looked at it in Warrior Plus, and what I think we'll do tonight is we will look at it in JVZoo. So once again, if you have any questions about anything, please feel free to ask. And other than that, let's go ahead and get started. Now I'm going to pull up JVZoo here, and what we'll do is I'm going to just kind of go in, and I'm going to go into an existing product here. So I'm going to share my screen with you right now. The screen you're going to see is going to be the files that we are working with, the minimalist files. And I'm going to get JVZoo open in just a minute here. All right. Now, one of the things that we talked about the last time was we talked about the fact that you want to make sure that you're getting the buy buttons from the right place in the JVZoo universe, especially when you're creating a sales funnel. Now, one of the things I do want to go over here is it's a little bit advanced, but I kind of think it's kind of important when you understand what you're trying to do with PLR in particular. And it's not something that I would say it's not something that gets used a lot. I do want to show it to you though. I'm going to open this up. And one of the things you're going to notice here is that you have a pre-launch landing page. And I'm going to tell you why I think this is important for you to understand, especially in PLR. It's because what we really need to do with PLR is we need to pre-sell, right? Because we know that it's a possibility that somebody else is going to have seen the sales page, somebody else is going to have seen this offer before, and they may even be seeing the graphics. And really, depending on how much you're going to change it, you are going to want to do some pre-selling. And one of the best ways to do the pre-selling is actually to do a couple of things. First is to be able to do this landing page, right? This landing page. Now that's one way to be able to do it. And what happens is that after the launch time, right, the traffic can be sent automatically to the sales page, but you want to do the pre-selling here and collect leads if you can at the point of sale through your affiliate. So if you have affiliates promoting, what's going to happen is they're going to have they're going to click their affiliate link. Their customer's going to click their affiliate link, and they're going to be sent to a landing page where you're going to collect the leads, right? And then you are then going to put them in an autoresponder and then make the sale. Okay, does that make sense? Does everybody get that? I know it's a little bit complex, but if you sort of get what I'm talking about here, please put the number 1 in the question box. If you don't get it, please put the number 2 there. Okay, so 1 so far, okay. Again, I mean, if I kind of blew through that too fast, put a 2 there, and I will try to explain that a little better. Right? And it's important to do these things and not just to put up the sales page as is, because if we don't, we miss the opportunity to do pre-selling. And I think that what is kind of important, and what I hear from people pretty much all the time, is that when you're sending people straight to a sales page and they don't buy right away, well, none of us do that, right? Most of us, if we buy information products, how do we buy them? We buy them as a result of a relationship we have with someone whose email list we're on. Now, you may not have that option when you are actually selling a PLR product, but one option you do have is the ability to pre-sell. And even if you don't have affiliates promoting, you can have these people sent to a landing page where you can opt them in, right? And so when they click the link, it actually goes to a landing page where you collect the lead. Right, now that's one way to do it. Now the next way I want to show you is going to be a little different, and what you're going to do is you're going to go to your product, right? You're going to go to your product, and you're gonna notice that you have an affiliate details page here, right? So you have this affiliate details page, and so what you're effectively going to do is you are then going to almost apply to your own affiliate link. So if I go here to approved products, you write in here, familypreneur, not familypreneur. Actually, no, it's right. It's actually right in here. Okay. When we go to this affiliate details page, okay, you are going to have the opportunity to actually give yourself, right, your own affiliate link. Now, most if not all of you probably should. If you don't, you should have some kind of second JVZoo account. Now, what that means is that you're probably going to have a second PayPal account, but you're going to need the second PayPal, you're going to need the second JVZoo account in order to do this. And I'm going to show you why it's important here in a minute. And I need to be able to show you at least one product that is approved that I know it is. Okay, so for example, this account is approved for a product that I have in another account. And everybody knows that. So you all know that I did Animation Jumpstart, right? So this product is approved for my account here, right? Even though that's not, it's technically not an affiliate, but it's approved for that affiliate. Now I'm going to need to go into my other account so that I can show you why that's important. So I'm gonna log out of this account, and then I'm going to log back into my JVZoo account from the other account so that I can show you sort of how to do this. So I'm going to log out, and I'll log back in. And it's putting me through a CAPTCHA. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go now to look at my affiliates here. And in order to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go to find that affiliate that's listed under LKH. Right, so that's the account that I was using. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a couple of things. Number one, I'm going to go in, and I guess I can show you any one of these products. It really doesn't matter which one. I can show you this one. And how many of you all see there what I have there. Maybe you all see the custom sales page. Okay, so if you see the custom sales page that I have here on screen, please put the number 2 in the question box. Okay, so here's what I'm doing here. Number one, what I'm doing is I'm actually giving myself, through another account, 100% commissions. But that's not even the most important thing. The most important thing here is that I'm going to be using a custom sales page. And what that means is that when the person actually clicks that JVZoo link, they're going to be taken to a custom landing page. And every time somebody goes to that link, instead of going straight to the sales page, they're going to be sent to a custom sales page regardless of what the sales page is. What that means is that I have the ability to change that sales page for a particular account, and it allows me to send people to a page that allows me to pre-sell. Okay, and so this is a little thing, but it's something that will give you another option when you are using PLR in order to pre-sell your offer and then have the person buy from your custom landing page. Okay, so if you get that, please put the number 3 in the question box. Okay, so how many of you have used the custom landing page? So if you have already, if you are a user already of the custom landing page, do me a favor and use the number 4 in the question box. If you knew about it but you haven't used it yet, put the number 5 there. Right? So okay, okay, cool. So what you want to do, especially with PLR, is use this to your advantage. We need to be able to pre-sell these offers. And oftentimes, depending on how much customization you use, how many of the people that are coming to buy the offer from your list, use the custom sales page so that you can pre-sell. This is where you can personalize your pitch. So it doesn't matter where the sales video is, right? You want to be able to personally guide your person, warm them up for the offer. In fact, if you've done your pre-sale right on this custom page, then what happens is by the time they get to the sales page, they'll already be ready to buy. Does that make sense? So again, you can use these spots so that you can be the one to pre-sell the offer. Okay, so that's one thing I did want to show you kind of before we got into the offer. All right, now, okay, so one of the last things that we have to do, since we have already we've already done the sales page and we have worked with the opt-in page, I do want to work some with these graphics in particular. And in this case, we actually have the PSD files, right? So we're gonna work with these files just a little bit. I thought we did. Okay, here it's going to take a minute. Let me shut some things down here. Okay, now if you're going to make changes to your to the actual product, it's all going to happen mostly right here, right? So if you're really going to truly rebrand, all the other things that we have done during this hands-on session, these are things that you primarily can do. But typically, if there's going to be a problem per se, it's gonna happen here if someone's not going to want to, let's say, pre-sell their offer. And so some of this depends on what the vendor gives you, right? Is everybody clear on that? So every PLR vendor is going to be different in terms of the PSD files that they give you. Let me size these up. And so in some cases, you're going to have to work with what you have, right? And so in some cases, even if you get the PSD file, you may not be able to change the lettering or the wording, but there's still stuff that you can do. Okay, so of those of you here, how many of you would like to change the title of this particular product? Let's say that if you had it, you would change the title so that you could rebrand it. So if you would want to change the change the title, please put the number 6 in the question box. That would be something that you would want to do with this. Okay, so yeah, we want to change the title because we know that we're going to have other marketers out there. They're going to actually go with the title as is, right? We may even want to change the color. We may even want to change the branding. And if we do it, this is where we're actually going to change it. So one of the things we want to do is we want to see what it is that the vendor gave us. So let's take a look. So one of the first things we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the box, right? So let's take a look at the box to see what it is that we can actually change. All right, so we're going to open this up in Photoshop right now. And you don't have to know a lot in Photoshop in order to do this, but we do want to know what it is that we can do. So we're going to take a look to see what we can change and what we can change simply. Okay, so now let's take a look. And let's see, we're gonna just resolve this. Okay, so what we have here is on this particular box, we have customizable graphics, right? So each one of these things we can actually go in and customize. So we can go in, we can change the title. Let's change this one to we say we're going to call this the minimalist life. And let's say we're going to call this the simple life. All right, so we can actually go in here and we can do the same thing here. Okay, so now we've got a new box that we can save. And we're going to call this new box. Now, in order to redo this, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to put this inside of a Photoshop action. Right? How many of you are familiar with Photoshop actions? Okay, if you are familiar with Photoshop actions, please put the number 7 in the question box. If you already know Photoshop actions. At least one of you do. I know that. I see you here, Jerry. I know you do. But how many of you are familiar with Photoshop Actions? If you are familiar, please put the number 7 in the question box, with the exception of Jerry. I know you are. Okay, so with a Photoshop action, this is actually how we're going to turn this box into something that we're actually going to use on our sales page. I mean, we can use the graphics as they are, but all we're going to do inside of Photoshop here is we're going to find the box graphic number 10. And the one that he has used is he's used the box graphic number 10. We're going to go in here, we're going to create it. Okay, so there we have our box graphic number 10. I'm going to make these layers invisible. And then we're going to put a new layer on there. And this is just as a as a point of information. How many of you would be interested in a PLR course that'll kind of give you some simple sort of how to work with Photoshop and PLR? How many of you all would be interested in a course like that? That's something you'd be interested in. Put an 8 now in the question box. But while we do that, I'm just going to go through this process. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to select this. We're going to copy, and then we're going to paste. Right, so then we basically have our layer there, and then we are going to then just render the drawing. Okay, so there's our new drawing. We can take the and make it transparent. And now we can place this drawing. We're going to resave it. We're going to resize the image, maybe down to 500. And we're going to save it. And we're going to call this new maybe 500 by 500 box. And we're going to save this now as a PNG file. Okay, we can size this back up so we can see it. Okay, everybody understand what I just did. So if you understood that, please put the number 7 in the question box. If you understood that. Okay? All right, very good. So once again, if we're going to rebrand, we can definitely use a third-party program to do this. I do want to show you how to do this in Photoshop because you'll probably be able to use the third-party program regardless. So what you probably will not see is what I'm going to show you tonight. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this in Photoshop so that you can see how it's done. And then even if you decide to use maybe something like Usign or eCover Authority, I mean, it'll be pretty easy to use those things with the software. So let's look at one more thing here with the graphics. So one of the things I want to do is I want to look at the logo here. I'm going to open that now in Photoshop. Okay, so once again, I'm going to change this logo, right, so that I can use it someplace else. So I'm going to change the logo to the Simple Life. Maybe we'll make this and then we'll keep the Okay, and then we already know, I think we can check and see what the actual image size is. So the image size is probably going to be pretty large. Okay, so it's 952 by 460. We're going to just resave this PSD in a new place. Call this new logo. Okay, we're gonna change the header, right? So we're gonna open this with Photoshop. And then we're going to slide this over. And we're now going to save this as a new header. Okay, so if you understand what I'm doing here by changing the graphics, please put the number 8 in the question box. Even if you don't know Photoshop, do you think you could follow this if you had to watch this video, open up Photoshop, and then do it? Could you follow my instructions? If you're comfortable, you'd be able to do that. Please put the number 8 in the question box. Okay, because really, all that rebranding the graphics is what I'm doing right now. Um, and at minimum, we do need to change the graphics if we're going to change the name of the product. And oftentimes, what at least from what I'm hearing, is if there's anything that really holds people back, it is that I'd love to rebrand it. I just don't know how to do this. And it's actually more difficult sometimes inside of a third-party program is what I've found. Um, um, if you can just kind of learn a few basics and you can do pretty much what I'm sharing with you right here, you'll be able to rebrand any graphic of any kind, right? Because what we first want to do is always be able to work with the PSD files in particular. Now, when we change the footer, that might be a little trickier, but we can take a look at that one too. Okay, so now the footer is the same thing, right? So all that's really happened here is that the background is now black, letters are now white. Okay, and then we can resave. Okay, any questions on the graphics? Any questions on the graphics? Now, when we start to look at putting these inside of our sales pages, the place where we're going to go is going to be the actual sales page. And when you go inside of the sales page, you're going to see 4 files here basically. And this is going to be the case anytime you have a PLR product. The one you're going to look at is going to be the images file. And I'm going to size this one up so you can see it. So if we were to go and we wanted to change the graphics, we would need to change the graphics inside of these items. right? The rest of these we could leave. We've already changed the header and we've changed the footer, and we didn't do the checklist, but we did the box. We changed one of the ebook and the box, and this would pretty much be the same thing, right? Now, the thing that might be a little tricky might be the bundle graphic. So let's take a look at that. So we're going to go to the bundle graphic. Okay, so in looking at this bundle graphic, we are always going to be looking at layers inside of Photoshop. The reason that you can do 3D graphics is because we can put things on top of each other and have them to appear in 3D. So the only thing that you really want to remember inside of Photoshop is that we can control what we see in terms of the image. So for example, if I want the background to go away and I want to see what it's like with a transparent graphic, I'm going to click this eye and that white background goes away. I click it again, the white background comes back. I just want to see what it looks like. I click the white background, I click this and it comes back. Okay, so if everybody gets that, please put the number 9 in the question box. If you get what I just did, just so that we can see what it looks like. Okay, great. So what we want to do now is we want to be able to go through these sort of one at a time, right? We want to see what this layer is going to look like. And so we can do that by taking these out one at a time. So I take out layer 7. That's what that one is. Layer 6. The magazines go away. I can put them back. Layer 8. That comes back. Layer 9. Layer 9 comes back. Layer 10. Layer 10 comes back. Layer 11. Layer 11 comes back. Okay, so now we can actually make changes to these graphics. Now, what we would need to do is we would need to recreate each one of these with our new title, right? And we could probably do this easiest by having this open, right? So one of the things we could probably do right away is we have this box, right? We have our Simple Life box, and we have our bundle here. So what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of these, not that one. We're going to get rid of these other layers. Right, so now all we have here is our box. So what we want to do is we want to have here a box that's going to be kind of in the same ballpark, right? So what I'm going to do here inside of this group is I'm going to create a new layer, layer 12, and I'm going to then take this box that I have here. I'm going to select it. I'm going to copy, merged, and I'm going to go back to the bundle, and then I'm going to paste it. Right? Does everybody understand what I just did? So if you get that, please put the number 1 in the question box. If you get what I just did, if you understand it. Okay, great. So now what I want to do is I want to then replace that box. And so I'm just going to size this up some. Right, I'm going to put it right on top of that one. I'm going to make sure there's a button here inside of Photoshop that helps me to maintain the aspect ratio, which means it stays proportional. I'm going to click that button, and then I'm just going to slide that right on top of there. Right? And then I'm just going to apply this. And what I can do now is that I can actually get rid of layer 7. Right? Now that's where the original one is. And then I could bring back all the other layers. right? So now what I need to do, you'll notice here that layer 12 is on top. So what I need to do is so that this and all these things can appear the way they did, I need to have it so that it is on the bottom where layer 7 was. And then it appears in the back. Okay, so now did everybody see what I was able to do? If you get that, please put the number 2 in the question box. Okay, very good. So in order to change these graphics, all you'd really have to do is you need to go through here with the graphics in your bundle one at a time. So you need to change the cheat sheet to the simple life. You need to change the checklist to the simple life. You need to change this book stack to the simple life. Now, I'm going to show you sort of how this is done. Now, the actions. Right? The actions themselves, the actions are, I'll show them to you here. Come from a program called Cover Action Pro, which I told some of you all about today. Now, Cover Action Pro has, and I'll size this up some, has actions, right? So when I get an action, for example, I'm going to go in here to, let's say, the bundle action. I'll size this up so you can see it. Okay, so you can do all of these actions. And so in order to do that, what I have to do is I'd have to make sure that action is inside of Photoshop. So for example, bundle number 2, I don't know if I have that. I do not. So I could do bundle number 2. I'd have to drag this action over into Photoshop. I would then need to create the bundle. Okay, so now in each case, what I would have to do in order to create that bundle, right? So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create a bundle that looks like this one. Where's number 2? Right, that's how I want my bundle to look. But in order to do that, what I would have to do is I'm going to have to create each one of the Photoshop images and put them inside of the action that I just created. So if you get what I mean when I say that, so if you get what I mean, please put the number 3 in the question box. So if you sort of understand how actions work now, please put the number 3 in the question box. Okay, if you don't get it, and you need me to explain more, please put the number 4 in the question box. Okay, so in each one of these cases, what I would be doing is I would be placing a report inside of the bundle area, and I can actually get that from the PSD files. So for example, what I would be doing is I would be going to this, this book, or maybe this flat image. I would be changing this to the simple life. And then I would then select this. I can then select all, copy merged, and then I'm going to go over to the action I just created. I'm going to create a new layer. And I'm going to paste this. And I'm going to put this in position 1. And then once I got all of my images there, I would go and then render. So I'm going to do this just with this image in this position so you can see what we're actually trying to do here. Okay, it's kind of working in the background here, so just 1 minute or maybe longer. It's a complex image, so it's working on it. Okay, you can kind of see it working on the side over here. Okay, it's still working here on the side. Okay, so there's the image. So now you can see our change. Right, can everybody see our change? So if you can see the change that we made and how it works, please put the number 4 in the question box if you understand that part now. Okay, so basically, remember we did our flat image. We changed that to the simple life. We put it inside of the bundle, right? So we need to, we could put some CDs in here, right? So we'd go and get our CDs. Here's a DVD here. We could do that, right? We can open that with. Now again, every vendor is going to do this a little differently, and in some cases you're going to have to work with sort of what you have here, right? So in this particular case, one thing that and he may do this, and I'm not sure. I have not looked through his this vendor's tutorials, but in giving you these, he's actually giving you the names of the actions you need inside of Cover Action Pro, right? So when you see PB8K8, COMB2, PBK2, those are actually correspond to numbers in Photoshop Actions, right? So I think PBK, I don't know which one that is. Maybe that's paperback book. Okay, so there's PBK8, right? So if I size this up. So even if you get the graphics, what you would need in order to make changes to that level is you would either need to be able to take that and put it inside of a third-party program like Usign or eCover Action, or you would need Photoshop, right? So if you had Photoshop, you would still need the Photoshop Actions, which you get from Cover Action Pro, right? Cover Action Pro is the way you get the actions. Okay, so does that make sense? Is everybody sort of clear on that? Okay, are there any questions? Any questions? Okay, so if you are still looking to pick up the hands-on session and the sales materials, you can go to. I'm going to give you a link here. It is the plrshow.com/hack, and that will be there. It'll be open until tomorrow. So after tomorrow, we'll be shutting down. The offer is going to kind of raise the price and then turn it into um, the PLR product. So it's the plrshow.com/hack. And if you're looking to do the upsell. Okay, any questions? All right, everybody. Well, thank you very much for being here. The next stage is we're going to start the edit process of the videos, or complete the edit process. We've already started. And we are going to then grandfather everybody in to your various levels. So whatever level that you are part of, we will move you into that level at the new membership site. Thank you very much, everybody. We appreciate you all being here. And for those of you all who have been hanging with us for all 20 sessions, we appreciate you definitely, and look forward to working with you in the future. So thank you very much, everybody. Have a great night and a pleasant tomorrow. Take care.